सेलिब्रिटी टिकटॉक पे बैठ के जॉब करती है, लोग मुझे गिफ्ट बांटते हैं, उसके पैसे आते हैं और मैं अपना घर चलाती हूँ, बूम 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 करती हूँ टिकटॉक पे। With our monthly dose of cringe that we all are guilty of loving and discussing about on the channel, a recurring feature also includes media interactions with celebrities that make you crouch your head in shame of just the second-hand embarrassment you just witnessed. While we have spoken multiple times about the quality of film journalism and the terrible questions that celebrities have to deal with, there are also times where either actors give statements which do not age well, seem tone deaf, or carry out acts which can be best described as inappropriate. I often watch international interviews, and the sheer pressure of being in the constant limelight often extracts some really embarrassing situations that the celebrities would want to forget about. Talking about some of the moments which I feel seemed inappropriate, uninformed, or tone deaf from celebrities, here is Tried&Refused Productions with when Indian celebrities embarrass themselves in live TV interviews. Priti Zinta. I consider Priti Zinta to be an extremely bright individual. Not only did she create a huge impact with her performances in my formative years of watching Hindi cinema, but the actor conducted herself with grace and humility in several interviews. When the industry was marred by threats from the underworld, she was one of the only actors who publicly spoke about the harassment that she was dealing with. In an interview that shocked me, however, when Priti Zinta was asked about the Me Too movement in the film industry, she had a rather tone-deaf statement as she herself had not experienced any such incident.
Okay, and personally, have you ever experienced any sort of anyone tried their luck with you, and how did you personally deal with it?
No, I haven't. I wish I had. So I would know, at least I'd have an answer to tell you.
While she fittingly does state in the interview that there are a spectrum of cases that should be investigated on their particulars, she closes off the topic with a rather inappropriate joke, which for many victims was a topic filled with incidents that caused severe trauma.
आज की स्वीटू कल की मीटू हो सकती है. Sorry.
Ahmed Khan. The age-old question that many actors roll their eyes at is when the media asked them if they carried out any pranks when they were shooting for the film. A reunion of the cast of Jo Jeeta Wohi Sikandar, however, extracted an anecdote that was rather uncomfortable to listen to. A tradition that was executed by Amir Khan with every actress he believed had the potential to become a star. Amir stated that he would see the palm of the actresses and spit on it as a joke, but attributed their success and them being in the number one position to that act.
He used to say, "Let me read your hand and spit on it and run away."
जिस हीरोइन के हाथ पे मैंने थूका है वो नंबर 1 हो गई है.
The anecdote is followed by applause by the crowd, and I wondered who in their right mind would think this was something to cheer about. Sunny Deol, the star-studded bash of the Gadar 2 success party, united most of Bollywood. Hindi cinema for the past 2 or 3 months is having a glorious run at the box office with a variety of films working well financially. With Gadar 2 absolutely blowing it out of the park, Sunny Deol has increased his visibility by appearing in several interviews, and while sitting with Ranveer Alabadia on his podcast, he spoke about his career and early childhood. Sunny Deol went on to talk about his intelligence as a child that has perplexed most of social media.
I had a very high IQ because school में मेरे उन्होंने test किया था. My IQ was over 160 something it was.
When you look at the IQ test and great minds that have the score in the same range as what Sunny Deol claims, it makes him join the gang of the likes of Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla. It's always good to know that Tara Singh could have also featured as a supporting cast in Oppenheimer. Zoya Akhtar. One of the topics that is often brought up flippantly is the access that star children have when exploring their opportunities as working professionals in the film industry. When Zoya Akhtar was asked about the topic of nepotism, she equated her struggle versus the outsiders by mentioning the years it took to get her first film on the floors.
I had access to everybody, but nobody did my film. And so my friends that came from outside, Reema Kakti, Ruchi Narayan, Anurag Kashyap, everybody made a movie before me. Everybody's journey is different. You know, like I am from the industry, it took me a really long time. Somebody comes from outside, it happens for them with a certain amount of struggle.
What even bright minds like Zoya Akhtar fail to recognize is that the privilege of access for those born in the industry is an upper hand that creates a monumental difference versus those who come with no connections. So while she does mention an Anurag Kashyap, an outsider who made a film before her, it also took years of writing work on TV, years of ADing with Ram Gopal Verma, struggle with several unreleased projects to get his first film on the floor without any issues. Whereas Access still allows a Zoya in her debut film to have an SRK cameo and Hrithik Roshan in a supporting role. The Access is the Horcrux most people dream about. And I think that gets often overlooked by most star children in interviews regarding nepotism. A.S. Ravi Kumar, a Telugu director who has done mostly underwhelming Telugu commercial projects since the mid-2000s, is Ravi Kumar Chaudhary. During the trailer launch of his next film, which looks extremely generic and forgettable, Manara Chopra stood next to him for a photo op and the director went out of his way to give her a peck on the cheek. Now I don't know about public etiquette, but if this was any Hindi film director with an up-and-coming actress, the media would be up in arms to absolutely come after the gall of a man to cross the line. The moment seemed extremely uncomfortable and inappropriate for the event. Pariniti Chopra. Everybody comes from a different school of thought regarding their process when it comes to acting. If there is one actor from Hindi cinema who debuted with immense potential but hasn't really lived up to that same hype, Pariniti Chopra would be one of them. I really have hopes for her project with Imtiaz Ali called Chamkila, but what I found slightly embarrassing regarding her take on acting was when she sat with Anupama Chopra to promote Meri Pyari Bindu with Ayushmann Khurrana and referenced how acting in front of camera deserves filminess versus being understated, and how she wasn't getting anything from Ayushmann as a co-star.
He will just come and then stand. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not a mind reader. Act. I'm like, do something.
So I think I never
he's
used
like,
to
no,
service.
you can just be. But I feel in front of the camera, you can't just be.
The different schools of thoughts, I think,
Yeah.
completely.
I can criticize Ayushmann for a few choices, but I will definitely not advise him to change anything about his process because he is a solid actor. The entire interaction sadly became less about acting and more about Pariniti's physical transformation.
There is something called being filmy on screen, but be such a good actor that it looks natural.
Ananya Pandey. First impressions are really important because they really cement an opinion among the viewer about the individual, especially someone who is trying to have a long career. I would assume the rockiest of first impressions were the initial interviews of Ananya Pandey. If the Siddhant Chaturvedi nepotism callback was not bad enough, I think nothing was as embarrassing as Ananya showing off her talent in the Kapil Sharma show.
It's my talent.
Sure. Very nice. Oh, not bad.
I did it.
While I understand Ananya is mostly being playful and sarcastic, with this being representative of her talent, the Indian audience sadly takes most things on face value, and there is no turning back when senior actors themselves start making fun of you for the same. Nawazuddin Siddiqui, one of the talents that really broke all the restrictive and traditional barriers of the perception people have of who can become an actor simply on the basis of how they look, is undoubtedly Nawazuddin Siddiqui. He laid a solid foundation with his filmography, choosing distinct roles both in the mainstream and in the indie space. However, lately, most of Nawazuddin Siddiqui's interactions with the media have mimicked the signs of a troll who wants to make fun of everything associated with the film industry, taking a jibe at SRK when asked about actors getting typecast.
टाइपकास्ट का मतलब होता है, टाइपकास्ट होते हैं हीरो, फिल्म के हीरो, जो 35 साल तक ये इस तरह की चीजें करते रहते हैं, you know?
Lately, Nawazuddin Siddiqui has said that he only wants to do leading roles, and that has restricted him from working in projects that actually cemented his impression as a brilliant actor amongst viewers. An actor who in previous interviews came across as wise, graceful, and having a sense of humility, sadly showcases an arrogance and smug attitude lately that I haven't been a fan of. Salman Khan. During the Star World show titled The Front Row, Anupama Chopra had a discussion with Salman Khan where he said that if a movie is not accepted by the audience and it fails at the box office, then it's a bad film.
If the film is not done well, the film is a bad film.
ये सच कैसे हो सकता है सलमान?
मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ, फिल्म नहीं चली, ऑडियंस ने आपकी फिल्म रिजेक्ट की है, फिल्म इज नॉट गुड.
This immediately was followed by Anupama Chopra referencing films like Jaani Bhi Do Yaro, Andaz Apna Apna and Parinda and how they were not financially successful yet loved by the audience later, stating how certain films are ahead of their time. Salman, however, was adamant on his statement, which I feel is rather short-sighted, as there are countless examples of films financially failing that just deserved better from the audience.
कभी-कभी फिल्म अपने वक्त से आगे होती है और बाद में लोग उसे अप्रिशिएट करते हैं।
आप उसको कुछ तो उस वक्त मत बनाओ।
I'll leave you with a gem from my favorite Nandamuri Balakrishna in the end, from the Veera Simha Reddy success event where he showed off his Hindi skills. There is really no one like Balaya. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below whether you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.